Hi, I'm Dana Opelman. This video is for my free sleep course for babies 7 to 12 months right here on YouTube. If you could use more guidance, then check out Sleep Sense Plus. The link is in the description below.
Good morning, welcome back. I hope night 2 was a little bit better than night 1. For most of you, it will be, and for some of you, it might not have been, and that is okay. The good news is you made it through the night, didn't have any breakdowns, or maybe you did, but you didn't give in, and we're moving forward into our day. I want to talk today a little bit about naps. For most people, I would say about 90% of the people who work on the Sleep Sense program, naps are the biggest challenge. I think there's a few reasons why that happens. One, we don't have melatonin on our side throughout the day, so that is not helpful. The light is also not helpful, and that daytime is fun. That's when our babies are doing all kinds of learning and exploring and being with you and having a great time. Given the choice, they would probably not take a nap, right? If you could ask a baby, would you like to go for a nap now? Chances are high they will say, no, thank you. But the nap is so important. Naps are just as important as nighttime sleep. In fact, the better they sleep during the day, the better their nighttime sleep is going to be. Overtiredness is really a baby's worst enemy. Don't let anyone ever tell you that pulling naps or restricting naps will make a baby sleep through the night, because that is absolutely false. Overtiredness for babies is not the same as it is for adults. Overtiredness for babies looks a lot like hyperactivity. It's kind of like the body is saying, I'm fatigued, I'd like to sleep now. Oh no, we're not going to sleep. Okay, let's kick it into high gear. And it drops a big surge of stress hormones to kind of keep this little person going. And it looks a lot like hyperactivity. It can look a little manic even. They are laughing hysterically one second and crying the next. They want to be in your lap. They want to be on the floor. They want to eat. They don't want to eat. They just don't know what to do with themselves. Or they could be like in a really good mood and crawling all around really quickly. And all of these are pretty good signs that they've pushed themselves a little too hard and into overtiredness. Once they become overtired, it is very challenging to relax enough to fall asleep, and then the sleep that they have after it is not good quality. It's much more broken and fragmented than it would be if they were fatigued but not too fatigued. So we're going to keep a really close eye in this next week on both our clock and our babies and see if we can find that sweet spot, that magic window of opportunity when putting them down for a nap is optimal. Now there's a guide in the nap chapter of the program that goes through the age ranges and gives you a clear picture of how much time awake each age group can handle. We talked yesterday about the 7-month-old, but if we were to move up now into the 8 and 9-month-old, I would say we're hitting about the 3-hour mark, maybe 3 hours and 15 of time awake before they're going to need to sleep again. So just keep that in mind going through your day. Now, the ideal schedule will not look the same as what's showing up for you now. If it takes her 45 minutes to get to sleep for nap, that's going to push your whole day down. And the schedule is not going to look anything like the ideal, and that is okay. All you need to focus on is every 3 hours you're putting her down for either a nap or bedtime. And know that as she gets better at this, the schedule will emerge. That ideal schedule will absolutely start showing up, but that most likely won't happen until the end of week 1 and into week 2. So we are just celebrating every little nap victory that we can get our hands on in this first week. I always tell people, listen, nap goal number 1 is just for this baby to fall asleep in his crib. That is our goal. That is our victory. We have accomplished the goal if that happens. We're not really worrying too much about how long the nap is. It's very common in this first week to have pretty chronically short naps. And that's okay. We're going to worry about that later, but for now we're just celebrating that victory. All right, moving into night 3, I want to share with you some good news. For a lot of people, night 3 is a big turnaround night. There's some really impressive improvements that show up in night 3. Not always, and if it's not you, that's okay. Maybe it's night 4 for you, and that's where the progress shows up. But we should be seeing, and I've asked you to keep a log or jot it down, and you should be seeing a nice trend by night 3. Some great skills are emerging, and that is really cool. If you're doing the stay in the room method, one of the best perks of that method is you will see the strategies emerge. What is your child doing that's helping her get to sleep, helping her make that journey? And that's probably already showing up in night 3. Every baby's a little bit different with what they adopt as their strategies, but I want you to keep in mind that what you might think is self-soothing doesn't necessarily look like it when a baby does it. So lots of babies do rhythmical self-soothing. So they might be doing, some banging with the arm. They might be taking their legs and banging them on the crib mattress. They might be doing some head rocking. They might be incorporating some strategy with their soft stuffed toy or their blankie. All of these things are pieces of the puzzle that they're putting together to find ways that are comfortable for sleep. And that is awesome. My son, I can still remember, he had a giraffe and it had a tag on the bottom of it, and he would hold the giraffe in one arm and take the tag in his fingers with the other, and he whittled that tag right down to all that was left was one little string by the time he finally gave up his lovey. That didn't happen for years. So that was a really integral piece of his strategy, was what he did with his giraffe. My daughter was a head rocker. She liked to rock her head back and forth, wore her hair right out at the back, but that's okay. That was her strategy for getting herself to sleep. And so you're going to see these little things emerge, and that's really pretty impressive. All right, good luck tonight. See you tomorrow.